What's up, guys? So, today I was going to talk about this topic. It came up a long time ago. Well, the topic is, why were the homeless people thriving during COVID and especially like the first shutdown? And so I think this is important because I'll explain why it relates to how a lot of people are right now as far as their thinking. But the reason was because when the shutdowns happened, even people with money were suffering, because now you gotta stay in your house, you gotta there's just all these like restrictions, so it's taken away from the life they already had. Taking away a lot from the life they already had. However, homeless people were already fucking sleeping in tents on the street. They didn't have any money. Fucking food. They were already struggling. But that's why the shutdown didn't affect them. So for them, everything was going good. It just affected everybody who was not homeless, if you get what I'm saying. So, which caused people who, regular people who were not homeless to it put everybody, including myself, in like really stressful situation, right? I mean, we were all freaked out. Everybody thought they were gonna die at first, At the time, I was considered an essential worker at my job. So we were like thankful that we still could work. A lot of my friends like couldn't. But we were also at the same time, we were like, shit, like, guys, we might fucking die, so we're freaking out, man. Meanwhile, the homeless people were like, shit, like, we're living on streets and fucking tents. Is like, dude, like, our life's already bad. Like, shit, maybe even some of them wanted to die, So, but, and this kind of thing, what I'm getting at is why homeless people were thriving compared to other people was because of the stress levels that were put. The stress levels. Homeless people were already, there was no stress put on them during the shutdown, but it was put on everybody else. And when people, I saw it personally, when people get stressed out that much and you don't know what's going on, your thinking tends to get a little, you start thinking about too many things at once, trying to do too many things at once, and your thinking gets a little fucked up. And I noticed a lot of with my friends. I think I started after 6 months or so of the shutdown and stuff, COVID, as time went by, and a lot of they didn't really know what they were doing. Like, they were not, like, if they were in the wrong, they started like doing things where they were in the wrong, and then if you said something about it, it was like, no, like, you're in the wrong. And there was a lot of like gaslighting kind of stuff going on, like with me and my friends, or my friends towards me mostly. And I started noticing it because I was just like working my job and just trying to relax. I knew when the facts came out about what was happening at the time, I just took that into consideration and just kept doing my thing. I was like, I can't, what's out of my control is out of my control, But I think some of my friends were kind of absorbing too much, and they had too much, they just weren't sure what to focus on, in their lives. And if they got mad, I think and I was around them, I mean, suddenly it became like my fault. You know what I mean? And meanwhile, homeless people didn't have to deal with this shit because they're just like, dude, we were already in tents, like on the street, like this for years or who knows how long, the whole time. So now they're like, okay, so now everybody else has to be like inside after 11 p.m. They're like, shit, well, shit, maybe a lot of them probably loved that idea. They're like, damn. So, and then even after the COVID thing and in present day, I think it's, you know, that kind of stuff transfers over to now for most people because they can't accept responsibility for what they're actually doing. They just want to blame it on someone else, and that was caused by them. There's so much confusion from the COVID stuff, and they're just like, we don't know they don't know this is going on over here in this country, this is going over here. They're like, we might die. Or like, are the vaccines good? And there's just so many things where, like, I think all of them they got so used to being confused, and so it's difficult for them right now to just tell the truth about certain things, because I guess it's just like they're used to confusion, used to anything possibly happening. So when, as of right now, if things are going good for them and they fuck up, they're at their job and they fuck up on something, they're like, well, it's pretty easy for me to just say, like, this person did it, this person's responsible. And if they talk to like their supervisor or something, that person's probably might have the same logic as them, so they're just like, okay, if you say that, it must be true. So I could explain this, like, I'm trying to explain it the best I can. But yeah, so the whole homeless thing, why the homeless were thriving during COVID is just because they were already in a bad situation. They didn't have to deal with the extra stress of not being able to go outside, go out after a certain time, and they're probably weren't that worried about like catching COVID, plus they're already in tents, like away from everybody else in stores because they don't have money to like go and buy as much stuff as other people. So that's what I'm trying to get at. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if that makes sense, let me know. But this is relevant to now because you see how most people have been psychologically affected, or they're, people are acting weird, all these people are doing all this crazy shit. People who used to be all good are now like just acting all fucked up. They're like clearly fucked up in the head, and everyone's like, it's crazy because like other people, you can go and explain to someone, hey, this guy's kind of like thinking or saying some crazy stuff. Meanwhile, this guy's fucked up in the head too. So he's kind of like interpreting it on a different level, but he's fucked up. So you think you're talking to someone to try to solve the issue, when really he could possibly be, in his mind, whatever he puts out after he absorbs that information, he might go and talk to some people and make the situation worse. So, and a big thing now is, people don't want to, go by what's true. Like if I say this is a can, which it is a can, and I'm like, it's half full, they're like, someone else would be like, no it's not, no it's not, why would I believe you? And I'm like, well, you can come and like touch it and look at it if they're standing right here, but they don't want to do that because they don't want to find out that what they're imagining in their mind is not true.